It's time for Kai's Corner on OnsideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Good morning here at beautiful Drive Pink Stadium. Last night's 32 young men were able to hear their names called, a part of the 2021 NFL Draft. 32 fans got to sit in the awkward chair of Roger Goodell, and Roger Goodell got to hear all of the boos that he has had raining down upon him for years now finally come back again to fruition, and everything is now great and perfect in the world. The Miami Dolphins decided to go out and select two very, very good players in Jalen Waddle and Jalen Phillips. While talking, both Chris Greer and Brian Flores said they did not expect Phillips to be there at 18 and was very, very happy when he fell to them. It was a awkward draft, I guess, to say the least, coming out of what everyone was really expecting. I don't think anyone expected Justin Fields to be the quarterback that went all the way down at 11 to the good old Chicago Bears. And just the draft in general was a very, very different one. I personally liked what we saw coming out of all of the coverage and all the people that we saw and the ways that they were able to do it. I think it was a very good job by the NFL and by everyone that was able to make everything work the way it needed to work. And it's just a congratulations to the NFL, all these young men, and every single team that was able to go through the season that they were able to go through, whether in college football and, again, in the NFL season this season and as the NFL season last year. So now we get to see a new crop of players come in, and we're going to review through what happened here in the first round. And after, we're also going to have a couple of guests on. We were supposed to have Kylie Ray Wang on, one of my good friends who just finally graduated. She just got her thesis done and everything like that. So she was, I was happy, she was happy, and then Kylie went over and her phone broke. So Kylie is communicating with people through Twitter and her watch. So through that, because we can't get Kylie on, we are going to bring on Michael Christian. He, of course, used to host Game Night. He does the E-Minute here with myself and Toast. So we will talk with him. He was very emotional yesterday when the Miami Dolphins went ahead and picked Jalen Phillips and not Najee Harris. He was very upset, especially then when Najee Harris went number 24 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm looking forward to talking to Michael and I guess seeing how upset he's going to be, because it's going to be quite hilarious in my mind to once again talk with him. He said that he cooled down a little bit. We'll see how true that really is, and then we'll go from there. We're also going to talk with Paul Astria from 5 Reasons Sports. He does a lot of the Kane stuff for 5R, so we're going to talk with him about his thoughts on Jalen Phillips and Gregory Rousseau, and then where he thinks other guys like Brevin Jordan could possibly be going down the line here in the rest of the 2021 NFL Draft. Before all that, we have our polls for today. Yesterday we had none because I felt like it was decision day. It's time. No polls. Just talking. Just moving. Now we have all 4 of our polls set and ready for this beautiful Friday. After the after the 2 first-round selections of Waddle and Phillips, what is your draft grade thus far for the Miami Dolphins? A, B, C, or D and lower? So far, A leading the way at 49.9% of the vote. It was tied with B actually for a while at 48. Now B at 43, and then C at 5.9, and then 1.3 for D or lower. Second question is, was your preference always Waddle overall? Yes at 19.2% of the vote, and no at 80.8%. After that, does your hope for this draft rely on Javonte Williams at 36%? Yes at 46.2% of the vote, and no at 53.8%. And then finally, who will have the longer Dolphins career, Jalen Phillips or Jalen Waddle? Phillips now at 26.9% of the vote, and Waddle at 73.1%. We are just an hour into the polls being open. You have until noon to be able to vote on those and have your opinion be heard, whether it's a vote, whether it's anything else happening regarding this Miami Dolphins team. If you're here in the YouTube comments and you have any of your thoughts, make sure to put them down, because we will be able to all talk and have a great, fantastic time for what we think is going to happen with our favorite team. Very quickly, just to address a few things, we will discuss 36 and below in the next segment. So I'm going to talk about what I think and how I think the first round kind of shaped out in the next segment. What I want to do here is specifically talk about the two picks that they made at 6 and at 18. Of course, yesterday I was trying to manifest that the world would do me a favor and Kyle Pitts would fall to number 6. And then he would be the selection for the Miami Dolphins, and I'd be happy and the world would be fantastic. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. He gets picked number 4. Very happy, very proud of my fellow Florida Gator getting selected number 4 overall, highest tight end that's ever been selected in common era draft history. And I'm very, very happy for him. I think the Arthur Smith system will benefit him a lot. Arthur Smith most famously loves his 2 tight end system. You saw what he was able to do with Jonnu Smith. You saw what he was able to do with Anthony Fursker there for the Titans. And he did have Ryan Tannehill there at the quarterback. You get Matt Ryan, whether you think that they should or not, getting Matt Ryan and having that guy there for him and Kyle Pitts is going to be a slam dunk, essentially. Pitts is going to do them a lot of favors on offense. So very happy about that. But to the Dolphins specifically, I love the Jalen Waddle pick. I think that where everything is, though I like Devonta Smith, though I think right now who we believe out of what we've seen is probably the more complete wide receiver, or one that's put up the most, obviously because Jalen Waddle was injured. And Devonta Smith himself said that he believes that everyone is going to do what they need to do in terms of him and Jalen Waddle were both playing. They both would have ate. They both would have done fantastic. I would have to agree. I think that they did a very fantastic job. And now Jalen Waddle is a Miami Dolphin. It's very good. It's a great moment for him. Great moment for his family. Of course, the most famous thing about Jalen Waddle yesterday was not him getting picked. It was his reaction. He said that the TV was behind, and that it was behind where he was at, and it wasn't him dodging his family. It was a situation where he had already celebrated with his family, and after that, he had everything he needed to have, and everything was already done and dusted, and got up and was all business and just said, all right, here I am, here I'm going. I am a Miami Dolphin. And he was going to run with it. His press conference wasn't as amazing as Jalen Phillips was. Obviously, Waddle being there at the draft, Waddle being there, maybe it was a little bit different. Maybe the environment's a little bit different. Jalen Phillips being at home in California. But it was, I don't know, it was an odd time. I feel like some of the questions that were being asked were a little weird, except for our guy Omar Kelly. Omar was asking some very good questions to both him and Jalen Phillips. And shout out to Omar, by the way. I know when we talk to him next week, he might be upset that they didn't go after Najee Harris, but hopefully they get out a running back, and Omar is in good spirits next week, how everything goes. But you get everything you need to get. And Jalen Waddle, I think, is a fantastic selection. Even through me wanting to argue with Toast, because I think he, along with all fans, are all fanboys, and they don't realize that their team has not been relevant for 20 years. I think that Jalen Phillips is fantastic. Jalen Waddle is fantastic. And I do think Jalen Phillips is fantastic as well. But Waddle is going to be good. He can take the top off of defense. He has speed. One of the things that was talked about a lot coming out of the season was the Dolphins need speed. They need speed. And now they're able to go ahead and do that. Now everything works out in their favor, where they get the speed they need. They're able to do everything they need to do, and Jalen Waddle should help in that department. One thing I found very interesting, they continuously said when talking about Jalen Waddle, he's going to be a great receiver, he does a lot for an offense, and he's going to be great in the return game. They continue to stress in the return game. My thoughts on this very early on are, if the Dolphins get another receiver they like, or they feel like with what they have and the players coming back, that they can move on from Jakeem Grant, that they will. I'm not saying that Jalen Waddle is a direct one-on-one replacement for what Jakeem Grant provides you, and I don't think that they're going to risk putting him out there in special teams consistently. However, they continued to stress and harp on what he can do when it comes to the return game. So I think that that's something that we should definitely look out for. Now, Jalen Phillips was the next pick. I did not expect Jalen Phillips to be there at that pick either. I think a lot of what shocked me about where certain teams went, the Jets trade up, the Vikings trade down. I think the Vikings did a very good job. But I wasn't expecting him to be there at 18. I thought maybe the Raiders could possibly go with him. I thought maybe, Arizona. I thought maybe the Chargers. I did not think that Jalen Phillips was really going to be there at 18. And I think it's a very, very good selection for the Miami Dolphins. You get a guy that was unanimously, if not for injury history, as much as anyone who's a fan wants to say whatever with the injuries, he has an injury history. Just like we said with Tua last year, he had an injury history. You can deny it all you want, but it's an injury history. And that's the reason why he probably slipped a little lower than people thought. But he was, without a doubt, the best edge rusher in this class. He's been a number one prospect since he came out of high school. And what he continued to stress, which I love a lot. One, the Dolphins say they want players that love football. They said that they got that a lot from, Jalen Waddle, and I think Jalen Waddle showed that. I mean, the dude rehabbed and worked out harder than anyone to get back from his very, very crucial injury and still played in the national championship game. And Jalen Phillips had the injuries have him lose love for football and retire from football. He comes to Miami and he puts on a show game after game. Every film you watch, he does the most. And he rekindles his love for that. And he continued to say that California made him, but Miami saved him. And he said that there is no other place he'd rather be than Miami. And when he was talking about the multitude of situations that were helping him, being in Miami, he's a Miami guy, man. Now, I know he's from Cali, but now he's a Miami guy. He's talking about living in Weston, Davie, North Miami. Like, he knew his way around, and I think you love that. Again, it's someone who is fantastic for the team, and I think what they did with these two players are what you have in Jalen Waddle and what you have in Jalen Phillips. You have two guys with the utmost of upside. And both of them, one of them coming off of a major injury, the other one with injury history, I think are going to be fantastic. But one thing I would like to mention, you have players in all these other situations where they have injury histories and they still go through, and sometimes they don't get injured in the NFL. It is what it is. Anyways, we're going to round out here and then get into the next segment. If you didn't join us last night, make sure to join us tonight at Sports Grill in Miami at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in Bird Road. It is day 2 of the NFL draft. The party will start at 6:30. There's going to be drink and food specials. It'll be the best draft party in South Florida. Even on day 2, we're still going to bring the same hype, the same energy, the same environment. Join us tonight at Sports Grill in Bird Road so that we can continue to bring you the best draft party on the planet.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
WLESPN. Sports Radio, where you can catch our draft party. Virtual draft party. But why when Onside Radio is doing it live with real people and real food and real beer? Because AM radio is over and our management is stupid.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Inter Miami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnSideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Inter Miami held a press conference on Thursday in which Phil Neville discussed some possible absences for Sunday's game against Nashville. Some of the names included Robbie Robinson, who's dealing with an injury, Julian Carranza, who has sickness, and also Rodolfo Pizarro, who's in Mexico on his way to get his green card. And if he does get a green card, it opens up an international roster spot. The Higuain brothers, unfortunately, might also miss a match due to the passing of their mother. We wish their family the best, but this will leave Phil Neville with some tough decisions to make on who to put in the attacking front against Nashville.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, so now we're just going to look at the draft as a whole, pick by pick as we get ready. We're going to have on Michael Christian here in the next segment, and we'll talk to him about his Najee Harris love as well as anything else that Michael has to do. And from there, we'll be able to discuss everything with him. We'll be able to see what he needs, what he doesn't need, if he needs some help for his sadness of his beloved Najee Harris not being available anymore for the Miami Dolphins. He wasn't going to fall to round 2. It was not going to happen. And I think he quickly realized his sadness and how upset he was going to be. And now we move on. So, the 2021 NFL Draft, Round 1, wrapped up yesterday. And the first 2 picks we've known for about 2.5 months. And for Trevor Lawrence, we've known for all 21 years of his life. So, Trevor Lawrence was going to be the number 1 overall pick since he was birthed. And we are able to know that now and see exactly what we got, or what the Jaguars got. And now Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall selection. Number 2 goes Zach Wilson. He looked like a middle schooler yesterday, getting ready for prom. But number 2 overall pick, BYU. I don't think he's going to save the Jets, but hey, hopefully anyone can. If you're a Jets fan, shout out my father and my stepmom, as they are Jets fans. However, there's no saving the New York Jets. Then number 3, we've been preaching from the mountaintops, and more specifically, I think I've been preaching from the mountaintops, that Mac Jones was not going to be number 3 overall. You do not go out there and make a trade from number 12 to number 3, give it 3 first-round picks to take Mac Jones. That would have made... the world would have burned down. And the fact that the media could not see this, it was the hyping up of someone who does not deserve to be hyped up whatsoever. And that's exactly what happened. Mac Jones was being hyped up to be something that he is not. Do we know what Trey Lance is going to be? Absolutely, we do not know what Trey Lance is going to be. We don't know what Trevor is going to be, really. And we don't know what Zach. We don't know Mac. We have no idea what some of these quarterbacks, Justin Fields, we have no idea. We don't know what they're going to be. But if you told me for real that in your heart of hearts as a media member, you thought that Mac Jones was going number 3 overall, I would have asked for any sort of thing that you were on and to get me on it, because that is a ridiculous oversight. This was probably one of the most obvious things in the draft, that the 49ers were not going to take Mac Jones. You don't trade your future for 3 years for Mac Jones. That is unrealistic to the umpth degree. Trey Lance gets selected there. Would have loved for it to be Justin Fields. Instead, it's Trey Lance. It is what it is. But you don't mortgage your house just to get Trey Lance. It's not a thing. Kyle Pitts, as we discussed, goes forward to the Falcons. And then one of the ones that I think is probably 5 and 7, I think are probably one of the most odd and dumb picks of this draft. I understand that Jamar Chase, and I've said it myself, dominated college football at 19. My issue with all of this, and he did it with Joe Burrow. My issue with all of this You need to protect Joe Burrow. Who are you protecting him with? Who are you protecting him with? You're not gonna get the ball to Jamar Chase if Joe Burrow can't stay up. I do not understand that pick whatsoever. You have to get protection for Joe Burrow. I think it's ridiculous that they didn't. Jalen Waddle goes 6 to the Dolphins, as we explained. And then another odd one to me. Maybe it's because Penei Sewell was there and they were shocked. But if you're the Lions, you're really, you're banking on Jared Goff? For real? You're gonna sit there and continue to bank on Jared Goff, and you're not gonna take the chance with a guy like Justin Fields? I don't get it. Like 5 and 7. I just don't get it. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. Then the run on corners goes. You have J.C. Horn go 8. Patrick Surtain go 9. Then Devonta Smith, in a trade up with the Dallas Cowboys, goes number 10 overall to the Philadelphia Eagles. You have to assume that the Eagles knew that the Giants were going to pick Smith at 11. They were able to strike a deal with the Cowboys. Cowboys move down and still get their guy, Micah Parsons. And the Chicago Bears trade up with the New York Giants and select Justin Fields. I think that's as smart as a move as Matt Nagy has done and Ryan Pace that they've done since they were, in the NFL as a head coach and GM duo. So I think that's a great selection, and we go on from there. We're going to have Michael Christian on here in the next segment, and we will talk with him about all things Miami Dolphins. You're listening to the only locally owned sports station in South Florida. You're listening to OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody-Ass family. Dr. Moody-Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
Time for a Sports Grill NFL Draft Profile. Hurricanes DE Jalen Phillips. This 6'5" redshirt junior weighs 258 pounds.
Conference hooker escapes and finally is brought down by Jalen Phillips. Another TFL.
A UCLA transfer put it all together at Coral Gables, posting 8 sacks, 1 interception in 10 games during the 2020 season. It's a credit to Phillips, who nearly quit football after wrist and ankle injuries and several concussions. While Phillips has the talent to play defensive end in a traditional 4-3 or outside linebacker in a 3-4 alignment, he is what you call a one-year wonder. It's easy to say as a Canes fan he'll be great. It's a lot harder for NFL managers to put their jobs on the line with this pick. Teams that could select him: Minnesota at number 14, Las Vegas at number 17, Miami at number 18, Indianapolis at number 21, or Cleveland at number 26. Join OnsideRadio.com for NFL Draft Week at Sports Grill in Miami, 11481 Southwest 40th Street, Bird Road, for a 2-night event starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, day 2 at 6:30 p.m. Listen to the live broadcast exclusively at OnsideRadio.com, or join Big O and Alex Dono for the best Miami Dolphins draft coverage on your home for real sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
It's toast. When South Floridians need hurricane windows, there's only one crew to call: Brett and Tom at B&T Windows and Doors. They came to the crib last year, installed PGT windows and doors, and now I'm set. No more plywood, no more knuckle-busting wing nuts. PGT windows and doors will keep me and my family safe the next time a named storm comes rolling on through. Call B&T today, 954-233-0126, or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S., do me a favor, tell them you heard about them on OnSideRadio.com.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit a Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. This is Abel with Onside Radio with a sports update. The Miami Dolphins took Jalen Waddle with his number 6 pick and Jalen Phillips with the number 18th pick. The Finns will have pick number 36, 50, and 81 in the second round and the third round. But don't forget, tonight we will start the Sports Grill on Burt Road for night 2 of the NFL Draft starting at 6:30, joining Big O and Alex Donald for Onside Radio NFL Draft Party, Watch Party, and live broadcasting. Sports Grill is located at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in Miami. We will see you there. Inter Miami, CF is a Nashville on Sunday. Game starts at 1 p.m., which means Big O and Alex Donald will get you started with a live watch party and broadcast with the Dangerous Minds Brewing in Pompano at noon. Christian Whittingham, Thomas Rogan, and Fernando Fiore will have the call at 1. The Florida Panthers beat the Chicago Blackhawks 43 at overtime last night. Sam Bennett with the winner, back at it with the Chicago tomorrow. The puck drops at 8 o'clock. The Marlins starts the weekend series with the Nationals. Pablo Lopez versus Jose Ross. The pitching matchup is at first pitch is at 7:05.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, we're gonna have on Michael Christian here, one of my very, very good friends. Of course, I host or co-host. Excuse me, he's the host. Well, we're trying to throw him out, but he's the host of The Extra Yard with myself and Juan, his co-hosts, all the time, making his life miserable every Wednesday at 7:30. Mike, how are you feeling now after you still don't have Najee Harris?
Listen, you could call me whatever you want, and I'm already hearing you saying I'm a terrible host and all that stuff. It's fine. All I care about right now is the fact that they didn't get Najee, and I'm dead inside. I don't even know if I can be a Dolphins fan anymore, man. I'm dying.
I feel like, obviously, we have to stress that it is, it's all jokes and everything like that. But what do you think, just strictly off of the Dolphins draft and how everything went last night? Of course, me, you, Juan, and Royal were pretty much talking since, the Jacksonville Jaguars took all 10 minutes of their clock and went on throughout the night, up until midnight. How are you feeling about how the draft went and how things fell for the Dolphins?
Genuinely, and this was, the Najee thing is kind of you were saying, it's kind of a character I'm leaning into. I do think Najee's going to be a good running back, and the day he busts out for 100 yards, which is going to be every single game, I'm going to message you and Juan profusely. But
wait, but why me and Juan? I like Najee.
Yeah, but you weren't as sad as me, so you can't join this train. It's my train and my train only.
Okay.
But I feel like the draft went well for the Dolphins. Honestly, I did. I think the Jalen Waddle pick was a bit of a surprise. Juan definitely saw that coming. Chris Kaufman 100% saw that coming. Jakari Givens was really high on him, although I don't think he really guessed that the Dolphins were going to pick him. I think Jalen Waddle's a good pick. He makes a lot of sense for this offense, and he fits in right away. Jalen Phillips is another good pick. My only thing there is defensive end. Yes, it's a huge help to this team, and it helps a lot with the pressure thing. My thing with the running back situation is they put themselves in the same situation they were last year, where they're like, oh, there will be a running back there. We can keep waiting. And now Javonte Williams doesn't fall to them at 36. It's kind of looking like they're going to come out of this without a RB1.
So you don't think Javonte Williams is going to be there at 36 then?
Man, it's going to be tough. We were talking about it last night. I mean, what was it? Atlanta, and there was another team. It was Atlanta and the Jets. Both could use running backs. Javonte Williams is there for them. People are very high on him. I wouldn't be surprised if they took him. I also wouldn't be shocked if they didn't. But it's going to be tough to say, if I had to give it a chance, probably like a 35% chance that Javonte Williams is there at 36. And that's just like a best guess. I don't know if you think he'll be there any more than that, but it's looking rough.
I don't think he gets to 50. I don't
You think Javonte gets to 50?
No, I don't think he gets to 50. So if you don't pick him at 36, so I guess I've been on a different side of things than I guess everybody else because I haven't been too keen that you have to get a running back. I think you want to upgrade for sure, but I haven't been on the same train as everyone else where no matter what you do, you have to get a running back. I think they did a very good job getting Waddle, getting Phillips, two guys with extremely, extremely high upside. And then on top of that, now you're at a position in 36 because of how the board fell. You can get the best safety in the draft. You can get another offensive lineman. You can go after the running back. You can get a center. I think right now the Dolphins are in a fantastic position. So I don't think I'm as keen on getting a running back as you and many others are.
Yeah, and I think the running back situation is just more the way the team is built right now. I mean, I'd agree. If they take a safety, that's good. That's going to help out the defense a ton because we saw what happens if Bobby McCain has to sit out a few plays with injuries. It's not a good thing. So you want to be able to fill that in, even if it's just that they want to cut Bobby McCain, whatever it is. There's a lot of ways. So safety helps. Center obviously helps because a lot of people worry about Matt Skura and snapping, and yes, snapping is very important for centers, obviously, so that's a bit of a help too. I just think you can get Quinn Miners at 50, so I'm not going to push too hard for Creed Humphrey here. I think there's some decent safeties in this draft, and considering that none have been taken yet, I think that's another option for later in the draft as well. I think the thing with running back, the only reason why I'd be okay with them not taking one is if Studsville has a guy that he's really banging the table for. He's like, this guy we can pick up in the third round. He's very good. Trust me, I got it. Then I'm okay with it. But if you're telling me that Studsville was high on any of these three guys and they didn't make a push to get them, considering how right he was last year on some of the other running backs that they missed out on, it's just going to be tough to go through again. And again, it's still a good draft, a lot of upside with both of the Jalens. It's just I really wanted to see that running back position get filled by the free agency in the draft, and so far we've had neither.
One of my thoughts on what I think today's going to go through, I think it's going to end up being like center and corner, or it might be the reverse of corner center. I wouldn't be so shocked if Asante Samuel Jr. is the pick at 36, especially considering how many reports have come out about how much the Dolphins wanted to address corner early on in the draft. Would you be upset if they went, corner center or vice versa?
If Javonte's not there, I'm not going to be upset at all. At that point, if Javonte, literally, that's the only prospect that I'm sitting here like, if he's there, you have to take him. Outside of that, yeah, I'm not going to be upset about it. I mean, at the cornerback position, then you're loading up again on a position that you keep throwing assets into. I mean, they just signed a guy this past offseason. They drafted Igbenogany the year before. They just paid Fody. Man, I forgot his name. The slot corner.
Nick Needham? Or no, not Nick
Needham.
Yeah. Well, Needham, and they also got the guy from the Lions who played for the Seahawks previously.
Justin Coleman, Nick Needham. They're throwing a lot into that. So to pick up another cornerback, at that point, I'd say let's go safety. Let's go maybe something else. But listen, this team is going to do what they want. Brian Flores does not care what any of us think, and I respect that. So he's like, look, I'm going to take my guy. I don't know how many people have seen the video, but he was hella happy when they took Jalen Phillips. He looked much happier in that video than they did about taking offensive players. I mean, he just seemed like a kid in a candy shop whenever they take a
remember him last year with
that Raekwon
with Raekwon Davis. So
he was having it, man. He was throwing around ghosts in his office, super excited. It was hilarious.
So you have to think then, he's going to be happy to maybe get another defensive guy. When you look at the board and how everything stands, I mean, if you want to go after, of course, everyone's talking about the big guy is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who is still available now. That's one of the big ones where everyone's like, that's unbelievable that he's still there. If he's there at 36, and let's say the Jets take Javonte Williams, are you banging the table for, getting Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah?
Personally, I'm not, but that's just because I think he's a good linebacker. I'm just not super sure where it's like, he's like the pick, right? He's the guy. Like I said, Javonte Williams is the one I'm banging the table for. After that, whatever their board has, I'm good with. Because this team has a lot of positions they could fill. There's a lot of things they could go after. I mean, listen, if they wanted to go in the third round and pick up another wide receiver, I'm not going to fight it. If they wanted to pick up Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I'm fine with that too, if that's the way they feel about it. If Javonte's gone, just go best available. I'm not banging the table for anybody that's left because there are prospects that I like, but I'm going to trust this team with what they want.
There's a lot that I definitely – I mean, I think we both would be banging the table for Creed, though, no? Or Quinn Miners, either of them. Like, if they're there at 50, then you have to say we're both saying to ourselves, if it's not Creed or Quinn, then we're going to be pissed off.
Yeah, I think if it's not Creed or Quinn, I'm going to be upset. Did Landon Dickerson go? I don't think he did, right?
Landon Dickerson did not go, no.
So that's another one, and I know Landon Dickerson has some injury problems, and that is a flag, right? It's something you gotta account for. But Landon Dickerson also is a good center, so that's where, look, if they can get one of those three guys, I'd be happy. If they end up with none of them, then that just puts the Matt Skura thing more at risk. But I said this last night to you guys. I agree that he's had snapping problems. I think he can and will fix those, and if he does, I think you've got a really good center in Skura because nobody questions the blocking. It's just the snapping right now, which is very important. But he figures that out. I think it works. And this team, they paid him. They got to see if it works. I mean, Chris Kaufman has been saying that for a while now. You can't pay that amount of money and then just draft a rookie and have Matt Skura immediately sit, second center. Right? You got to give him a shot. We'll find out in training camp, and I think it will work. If they go and get one of these three guys, though, sure. I'm just not really get those centers. If not, it's a failure. I think they're figuring it out. I think they have a plan. They've made a lot of moves on that offensive line. They have some thoughts that they have with that, and I trust them with it, honestly.
So you would just say then that if right now Javonte Williams is I'm banging the table at 36, and then from there you're just kind of sitting back all right, we'll see how the rest of this goes.
Yeah, because after that, it's just like I said, there's prospects that I like. I mean, we've also heard a lot about Tevin Jenkins and Dylan Radins. If they wanted to take those offensive tackles, kind of reshift the line a little bit. Asante Samuel, if he keeps dropping, I mean, that's going to be a good pick because a lot of people are high on him. He's kind of up and down, but people say he's really good. So if you could pick up Asante Samuel at 36, a lot of people would consider that a huge steal. That's what I'm saying. The board is all over the place right now.
Yeah.
This draft went pretty much how people thought, and then also the exact opposite the way people thought. It feels all over the place. What was the pick 17, Alex Leatherwood? That came out of nowhere. But, hey, the Raiders are always outsmarting everyone, right? At least they didn't take a guy with the fastest 40 time this time. Those guys.
They're always, I mean, come on. It's the Raiders. They know exactly what they're doing at all times, no matter what. Everything that the Raiders do is smart. But I would say, yes, you look at it, things kind of changed a lot after the Mac Jones pick. It was, I would even say maybe after the Justin Fields selection, you saw guys that you thought, okay, Chargers going to go offensive lineman. Jets eventually will go offensive lineman. They trade up, of course, to get their guy. But then it's like Kadarius Toney goes 20. And even I told you guys, even as much as I like Kadarius Toney, I was not expecting him to go 20. I thought high second round, low first round. Did not expect it at all. So he goes 20. Then Kwity Paye. Then Caleb Farley, Darisaw, Najee. And then I think the big one, and we talked about it and we laughed about it yesterday. Travis Etienne reunites with Trevor Lawrence. It's a great thing. They did great stuff at Clemson. The comments from Urban Meyer. He said he wants to use him as a third down back. If you're a Jaguars fan, Mike, and I know you live you're in Orlando. You're not too far off from Jacksonville. If you're in that area right now, yeah, you got Trevor, but you have to be a little bit cautious about those comments, right?
It's just so weird. First of all, the draft pick by itself was weird. Like Travis Etienne, good player. I'm not going to take that away from him. But they just got James Robinson, who is an excellent player. And it's not even like he was excellent in college, and so you just picked him up and you hope he's going to be well. You've seen him produce in the NFL with a terrible offense, right? He produced when there was nothing else going on there. And then you go and pick up another running back, and then it's like, okay, maybe James Robinson is out the door. And then he comes out and says, nope, Travis Etienne is going to be our third running back. We're super excited about that. Who drafts a third running back in the first round? It literally makes no sense to me. Unless Trevor Lawrence called them and said, unless you draft Travis right now, I'm never playing football again, and did some like power move like that, which I really doubt. It's just really confusing. If I were the Dolphins, I'd be calling. I'd be calling like crazy to see what they'd do with James Robinson. Because having both of them, especially with the contract situations that are going to be coming up pretty soon for them, right, because it's going to be about a year apart, I'd be calling them right now and saying, hey, how much for James Robinson? I will take him off your hands, make your entire situation easy.
Not only that, but wasn't James Robinson a 7th-round pick, right, I believe?
He was really late. I don't know if it was 7th-round pick.
No, he was
like
UDFA. I think he was UDFA.
Oh, my goodness.
Because it says he was signed on April 28th, 2020 by the Jacksonville as a rookie free agent. Yeah, so he was UDFA.
Oh, my goodness. And I think it was House that said it, that I think Robinson went to the Shrine Bowl where there were Dolphins coaches, and they went and celebrated with James Robinson. They had a really close look at him, and then they go and take a long snapper in the later rounds. Like that's
he did a very good job.
He could have had it.
The long snapper, Ferguson did a very good job. But anyways, Mike, thank you so much for coming on. Hopefully we get Javonte Williams. I know me and you and Juan and most likely Royal as well will be talking all day throughout the day. We need someone to check up on Royal anyways because of the Aaron Rodgers stuff, and hopefully he's doing fine. But, Mike, thank you so much for coming on, man, and I look forward to making your life hell next Wednesday.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. I've checked up on Royal. I'm a little bit worried about him because he hasn't answered. But I got to give you your flowers. Congrats on the Kadarius Toney stuff, my man. Have fun with the rest of the show.
Thank you. Catch South Florida Staple every afternoon as Alex Donald hosts the Man of the Match from 3 to 6 p.m. Donald covers everything from football to MMA. Choose one of the most complete sports shows in the country with the Man of the Match with Alex Donald, 3 to 6 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
It's toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on Onside Radio.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
WLESPN Sports Radio, where you can catch our draft party. Virtual draft party. But why why when Onside Radio is doing it live with real people and real food and real beer. Because AM radio is over and our management is stupid.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
Bringing good vibes to try to wake myself up. I appreciate that, Abel. I don't understand how you're not tired, Abel. I'm dying right now. I don't know how you can't be in the same level of dead as me. But I remember I told Abel, Sean, and Tim yesterday, I'm not used to being up. So before I started doing the show, I am not a morning person. I never had my classes. Well, unless I had to. I never had my classes in college anytime earlier than 10. I never, ever wanted to be driving early in the morning. I never wanted to be up early in the morning. I felt like high school, being up every morning at that same time, going to school, being up that early, sucked. I hated it a lot, and I never wanted to do it again. So, from there, I was just like, all right, I don't want to ever do morning stuff. And now, I mean, I guess, I do the show from 10 to noon, so it's still kind of in the same realm of I don't like being a morning person. But yesterday, man, waking up at 5, I woke up at 5:30 to go and do stuff I needed to do. I was a tired man yesterday. And I pushed through. I remember at the end of the draft, I was just sitting there. It was like 12:01, 12:05, and I was like, man, I'm feeling it right now. I am tired. But we're pushing through and we're making everything work. Getting through this Good Friday. It's a beautiful day outside. It started off rough. I can't lie, because I woke up and I looked outside and it was dark. And it was rainy. And I was like, that's not on the forecast today. It's supposed to be a great day. What the heck is going on? Then I go look at the forecast just to see what's happening. And there was a flood warning in my area, Miami Shores, until 11. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So 1, I don't like driving in the rain. 2, I'm tired as heck. And then 3, I hate Miami drivers. Going through, figuring out everything, what I need to do, how I need to, get everything going. And then, everything else is fine. I get on the road, The roads were a little slick, but no stupidity this morning from Miami drivers, and everything worked out pretty fine for me. So it's all been good. Oh, and then the best part, for those who were here yesterday, I have my mask right today because I remembered to take it out of my house. So no allergy issues. Love it because I have the right mask. Feeling good like I should. Now, today at Sports Grill, when I'm getting ready to enjoy some fantastic special grilled wings, maybe a drink, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling on that end. But when we're getting ready for all that, I will be very much in my KN95 getting ready. But I'm excited from what I saw yesterday from the draft coverage when I was able to tune in. Was very, very good. It was set up amazing. Shout out to Sean. I believe Tito, just everyone. Sean, Tito, Tim, Abel, Big O, Dono, just for the fact that we're able to make all this work from doing the draft show at Sports Grill to doing everything at Dangerous Minds. I think, without a doubt, just a fantastic, fantastic job. So, it's good. All good, all good. And, yeah. What do you mean? No, I know, but I'm saying that what they're able to do at Sports Grill and Dangerous Minds when they do the Inter Miami stuff. Yeah. So, they did a very good job. It looked fantastic. I saw a lot of you guys that are, in the comments every single morning taking pictures and putting them up on Twitter. I hope you guys make it out again tonight. Myself, Toast will be there. I know Toast said he's bringing his wife. I'll have my girlfriend with me. And then as well as one of our other friends might be coming because she lives really close. So we'll be also going there and enjoying some wings. Our friend that's coming, she only eats fish. She's a weirdo, so we'll figure out what we need to do with her. But besides that, we'll be eating wings. We'll be having a good time and enjoying ourselves. And finally, I guess, being out and about. We went to Top Golf last weekend. That was great. But finally being out and about and ready to roll. So, rounding off hour one. In hour two, we will talk with Paul Astria from 5 Reasons Sports. We'll talk to him about all things Miami Hurricanes, what he thinks about the two selections of Jalen Phillips and Gregory Rousseau, and then what he thinks will happen with Brevin Jordan down the line this draft weekend. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., Sean Stanley hosts Square Circle Digest. Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the flagship station of Inter Miami CF, OnSideRadio.com. Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio.
It's Toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on OnSide Radio.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online, to the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful, to those who don't stop and those making all the stops, to the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Toast.
Congratulations to NRG Esports on landing a huge title sponsor for their Rocket League team, Q, the General Insurance. So, moving forward, the team formerly known as NRG will now be the General NRG. The reason why this deal got done? One Shaquille O'Neal. The big man is both an investor in NRG and the pitchman for the General. Now, let's get Shaq on a controller and see what sort of gaming game he really has. Happy gaming.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report. It's time for Kai's Corner on OnSideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
Hour 2 here at Kai's Corner in beautiful Drive Pink Stadium on this April 30th, 2021. I am that man, Kai Chen Chisholm. You can follow me, of course, as always, on Twitter at Samurai Radio. That's at SAMURAIIRADIO. And, of course, you can vote in our polls that we have every single morning, except for Mondays. Mondays, we don't have polls. Because on Mondays, since it's only the hour, I don't like to just put out the polls. I always like to put out 4 polls a day. I like to gauge a bunch of different questions, usually, and they'll return next week for anyone who's listening that loves the randomness that I have as a part of the polls. Usually, I just add the random thing here and there to spice things up and make things a little bit interesting. But, of course, this week it's been all draft related. All draft related. Heat, no one cares about them. All NFL draft. Panthers, Marlins, whatever. Draft. Today, draft. Tomorrow from 12 to 5, draft. So that's all that has been the care about. But we've had a lot of votes today. Very, very happy about that. Everyone with the draft and feeling it, really. Feeling the love, the environment, the everything possible that I can think of. So, we go through and review our polls from today. The first one, after the first 2 rounds, or first 2 selections, of Waddle and Jalen Phillips, what is your draft grade thus far? A, B, C, or D or lower? Well, it was a tie between A and B for quite some time this morning, up until we got on the air. Literally, it took until when we got on the air that A kind of took away into the lead. Those like me who don't enjoy being up early in the morning, they woke up and they said, whoa, 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 whoa. I do not agree. And they bumped A all the way up. A at 53.5% of the vote. B now at 39.5% and C at 5.7%. And shockingly, of the 529 votes today, 1.3% D or lower. Cannot believe it. Then from there, was your preference always Jalen Waddle overall? Yes at 18.7% and no at 81.3%. From there, does your hope for this draft rely on Javonte Williams at 36%? Yes at 47.2%. No at 52.8%. And then finally, who will have the longer Dolphins career? Jalen Phillips or Jalen Waddle? Jalen Waddle at the lead with 73.3% and Jalen Phillips with 26.7% of the vote. If you miss any of those and you want to have your voice be heard, whether in the YouTube comment section, whether in the voting on the polls, anything at all. You can go to the polls. It's again at Samurai Radio, also retweeted by the Onside Radio Twitter. And then anything you might have to say, any questions, any thoughts, concerns, put them down there in the YouTube comments. If you're not listening or watching on YouTube, come on over, have a party with us here, have a conversation, and join the great community that all of us here at Onside have built from show to show, and the continuity that's happened from just not only having my show, but Big O's show, Man of the Match, Toasted Sports, all the weekend programming coming through and making sure that everything is good and gravy and ready to go. So, from here, what I thought that we could do in this segment, it's been a main topic of the show all week that we've talked about. Okay, we saw the draft, and the thoughts or the things that were said were from good old Peter Schrager. By the way, I love Peter Schrager. Just in case anyone got anything misconstrued throughout the week, love Peter Schrager. I just thought it's very interesting that, he said those comments, that he has the most accurate mock draft pretty much every year. And that he does it based off of what he hears around the league from GMs and coaches. So I just thought it was really interesting. The mock draft that I did, along with Michael and Juan, we got a total of 4 picks correct. And from about pick, 3, we got pick 3 wrong because, of course, Juan had pick 3 and he said Mac Jones. Then we got pick 4, obviously correct. And then from there, it was 5 all the way up until 14 until we had a correct pick. And then 15 down, not a single one. So, just off the bat, none of us are out here trying to boast anything. And me or anyone, I just thought it was interesting, so I do want to see, how accurate it was to what happened in real life. Of course, we know 1 and 2, everyone's known that for months. And as we said at the top of the show, everyone has known since Trevor Lawrence was birthed that he was going to be the number 1 overall pick eventually in an NFL draft. Then, of course, Mac Jones on this one didn't go. It was Trey Lance. Kyle Pitts follows. Jamar Chase selected 5. And Penei Sewell not selected at 5. Then 6 is Jalen Waddle. 7 was not Patrick Surtain going to the Philadelphia Eagles. It was, in fact, Penei Sewell going to the Lions. Patriots did not trade up for Justin Fields. The Broncos did not select Trey Lance. J.C. Horn was picked by the Carolina Panthers. Jalen Waddle was not picked by the Giants. Rashawn Slater was picked 13th by the Chargers. And Elijah Vera Tucker was selected 14th by the Jets. Devonta Smith did not go 15. Zaven Collins did actually end up going 16, I believe. So that is a hit. Kwity Paye did not go 18, though most thought it was going to be Kwity Paye. Instead, it was Jalen Phillips going there at 18. You're good, Big O. Don't worry, man. Jamin Davis goes 19, not Darisaw. Tevin Jenkins fell out of the first round. It was, in fact, Kadarius Toney that went 20. And then Azeez Ojulari is still there. Najee Harris did go to the Steelers, just at 24, not 22. Travis Etienne did not go 23. Greg Newsome did go in the first round, but to the Browns. Jason Owe, I believe, also went, but that was to the Baltimore Ravens. Tyson Campbell, I do not believe went in the first round. And then Kadarius Toney, of course, yes, he went in the first round, just different team. Trayvon Moehrig did not. Elijah Moore did not. Levi Onwuzurike did not. Gary Rousseau had a pick before. That was to the Bills. And then Jamin Davis ended up going at the bottom. So I think when we look at this, Peter Schrager got what all of us got. I think this, we talked about this NFL draft for so long, and we talked about how much things have changed, right? And how things have been going. This draft was dependent on 3. Though, again, I find it hilarious that people thought Mac Jones was really going to go number 3 overall. I thought it was Justin Fields or Trey Lance, because you don't give up that capital to go out there and get Mac Jones. But you go out there, you do what you need to do. But that was going to decide it. 3 and 4 was going to... And what's funny enough is, as a collective, I think national, local, any media, even fans, Since 3 was decided to be the Dolphins pick, everyone collectively said the draft will start at 3. Then they traded to the Niners, and the draft still started at 3. 3 decided everything this year, and it was Trey Lance. Then from there, it's Kyle Pitts. And then once Jamar Chase was selected number 5, I think that's when the draft got rolling with some crazy stuff. Penei Sewell at 7, J.C. Horn at 8. Patrick Surtain to the Broncos. I love that pick. I absolutely love that pick. Devonta Smith to the Eagles. I think that's an outstanding pick as well. Look, Jalen Hurts showed you a little bit. I don't think enough to say, all right, he's going to be the guy for the future, but you have to give him at least a year. I think that's a fantastic pick as well. I think he's going to work out better than all the receivers that they picked before. He's got the hands. He's got the work. I think Devonta Smith will be very good. I think it'll be a great selection for the Philadelphia Eagles. By far, though, probably my favorite pick of the entire draft. No, it's not Kadarius Toney to my second favorite team in the New York Giants, which is crazy, right? You know, I know my father is listening, and my dad knows I was a very big New York Giants fan growing up. And then we kind of hit that transition where, you know, it was like you got to root for your home team, and I became a huge Dolphins fan and just eclipsed over. And this is, don't get it twisted either for anyone that's going to think. I was not transitioning to being a majority of a Dolphins fan and knowing more about the Dolphins after the second Super Bowl for the Giants. That was after like 2009. I was going through already, and I was very happy when they won the Super Bowl in 11, but my transition already started. But Giants are my second favorite team. I love the Giants. I root for them when I'm not rooting for the Dolphins because I want to see them do good. You know, I really like Tom Coughlin. I liked Eli Manning. So obviously, you know, I just really liked them. I never liked Tiki Barber, but besides that, because I kind of started getting into the Giants. My brother as well, my older brother Richie, is a big Giants fan as well, and he kind of introduced me into the Giants when I was younger. But never liked Tiki Barber, and that was kind of the intro I got, is when Tiki and Eli were on the same team, and then Tiki retired, and then it was like, okay, well, I don't like you, and then you retired, and they won the Super Bowl. Boom! Love Brandon Jacobs, though. Ahmad Bradshaw. I loved those Giants teams. You give me the Michael Strahan, Jason Pierre-Paul, Mario Manningham, like all of that stuff. I love David Tyree, of course, Plaxico Burress. Anyway, this is going on a whole rant. But I loved the pick by Chicago at 11. I think Gettleman might have been a little bit, you know, surprised that the Eagles were able to get the, you know, draft and trade up with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys did a great job trading down, by the way. You trade up there if you're Chicago, and you get, you know, you convince Dave Gettleman, who's never traded out of his pick as a general manager. Never in 8 years as a general manager has he traded his pick in the first round. So you convince him to trade down. You give up a lot of capital for it. But I think you made the right choice. If you're Ryan Pace, if you're Matt Nagy, I think you made the right choice. Justin Fields, in my mind, is going to be the second best quarterback in this draft. And I think he's going to be an absolutely fantastic and electric player. And if there's anyone that, in my opinion, has the chance to save the Chicago Bears, I think Justin Fields fits the bill. I think he's going to show out and shine. And I love that selection by the Bears. It's by far, like Zaven Collins to the Cardinals, I love a lot as well. But by far, and Kwity Paye too to the Colts. Justin Fields selection, creme de la creme, I absolutely love it. It's by far my favorite. From there, you know, there's also some, you know, Kadarius Toney at 20. Listen, as much as I am a Gators fanboy, obviously Kadarius Toney going 20 was a shock. I thought he was going to go 29. They didn't even select a receiver or anything or do anything, the Packers. They just picked another corner. Anyways, we'll talk with Paul Austria here in the next segment. Ask him all things Miami Hurricanes. What does he think the future is for Gregory Rousseau in Buffalo? And does he think that Jalen Phillips will be past the injuries and shine out for the Miami Dolphins? Florida Panthers fans, You have a place to call home here every Saturday morning as Cats insider David Dwork hosts Chirping the Cats Radio every Saturday at 10 a.m. Onside Radio is committed to all sports, and Panthers fans can now connect every Saturday from 10 to 11 with David Dwork on the home for Panthers fans worldwide, OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
WLESPN Sports Radio, where you can catch our draft party. Virtual draft party. But why when Onside Radio is doing it live with real people and real food and real beer? Because AM radio is over and our management is stupid.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Inter Miami fans, time to find out more about your favorite soccer team with OnsideRadio.com's IMCF Football Focus. Here's Austin Robillard.
Inter Miami held a press conference on Thursday in which Phil Neville discussed some possible absences for Sunday's game against Nashville. Some of the names included Robbie Robinson, who's dealing with an injury, Julian Carranza, who has sickness, and also Rodolfo Pizarro, who's in Mexico on his way to get his green card. And if he does get a green card, it opens up an international roster spot. The Higuain brothers, unfortunately, might also miss the match due to the passing of their mother. We wish their family the best, but this will leave Phil Neville with some tough decisions to make on who to put in the attacking front against Nashville.
Keep up with the latest on La Rosa Negra by subscribing on most platforms. Search Onside Radio. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, we're going to have on Paul Austria from 5 Reasons Sports. and we will talk to him about all things Miami Hurricanes right now. You can follow him on Twitter at Paul Austria _. That's at Paul AUSTRIA _ Paul, 2 Hurricanes selected in the first round. How you feeling?
Yo, it's incredible. I think even considering like not even just this past season, but the past like maybe like 15 seasons where Miami's had a very up and down record. I mean, they really haven't won a bowl game in a while either. I mean, I'm not. This kind of sounds like I'm crapping on my team, but I mean, it's big, and especially from the same position. I mean, it's a big deal, and I mean, I know it's still kind of far fetched from the glory days, but it's definitely a reassuring thing for for the program going forward.
So, Paul, I've been the greatest way to say this is mocking UM fans for quite some time now, because every time that a UM fan comes at me for being a Gator, I just remind them that they haven't been relevant in quite some time, right? So I've been fighting with Toast because he claims that UM has been more relevant than UF, and I disagree right now. In the past, sure, maybe not in the present, but for UM, this is really big for them. It's big for the program. You get 2 guys, and one of them, who didn't play last year, was kind of a fringe first-round pick. He goes in the first round. They're expecting, Brevin Jordan to go in like the early, round 2 or round 3. How much of an impact does this have now for the Canes in saying, look, we are putting guys in the first round again, come down to Miami, come to Coral Gables. We can put you in the draft and in a position to succeed.
Oh, no, it's huge. I mean, when you talk about it kind of from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, it's kind of for defensive ends that are, considering Miami, it's like, well, look, I mean, like you mentioned, like there's a guy that didn't play last year at all in Russo, and then a guy in Jalen Phillips who, maybe 2 years ago, I think it was December 2019, basically gave up on football because he just had gone through so many injuries that from taking him and just using just 2 years, maybe I guess even a year of just hitting the weight room with the trainers, to now becoming a first round pick is an incredible transformation. And it kind of just like it's forming this kind of pipeline. Like you could kind of say, I guess, with Florida, they have, they're putting DBs in the league. Ohio State, they're putting defensive ends in the league. It kind of creates that, in a way, a pipeline that's saying like, hey, if you want to be pushed, if you want to play at the next level and you're a defensive end, how can you not come to Miami? Or how can you not want to come to Miami? Especially for all the local guys too that are, considering leaving and going to, Bama. The Bosa brothers were down here. They ended up going to Ohio State. It's like now you can stay home. You could probably achieve the same amount of success and make it to the league while, putting up for the crib and staying home. It definitely gives these recruits another thought in their head. Like, yeah, I don't have to go far. I could still play in front of my family, but I could still become a first round pick or a high draft pick and, make the same amount of money.
One of the things that Jalen Phillips continued to say yesterday was, California made me, but Miami saved me. And he seems to just love the 305. Not like, oh, yeah, I'm excited to go down to South Florida. He's out there saying, I got to go look for houses and really naming areas in Miami that you only know if you've been here and if you actually go and venture to those places rather than staying in like that bubble that everyone knows or thinks Miami is. How important do you think it is for him, and how much do you think he loves the fact that he's staying where he fell in love with football again?
I think it's huge for him. I think just, I don't want to kind of put words in his mouth and say that Manny Diaz, quote unquote, saved him. But in a way, it kind of feels like, Miami's basically given him a second chance. Not even just at football, but at life. I think that he feels like he owes, I guess, something to the city. And just now that it carries that meaning to. And the thing is, like, it's funny because, I think if you've been to both, California is very similar to Miami, just the whole tropical feel. But, I mean, I think that intrinsically, emotionally, he definitely feels like Miami's played a huge role in his life. I mean, it basically turned him into a first round pick, and I think that if he didn't make the decision to come to Miami, then he wouldn't know what he's doing with his life. I think he was also I think he went to LA Community College right after he retired for music production, but I mean, I think just now it's like wow, like literally his life has changed. And I mean, I can't. I'm honestly, personally, really, really excited for him. I think that he's definitely a solid pick for the Dolphins. I mean, of course, you have your pros and cons, but I think that for him just to kind of his life has really just come full circle. From where he was at one point. And even there's a picture too. I think someone on Hurricanes Twitter probably has it, but like it's him in the dorms. I think when he just got on campus, and he's just super, super skinny. Like for a kid that's like 6'6", I think he was like 230 around that time. Like you just see like a big like torso, but his legs are so skinny. So it's almost like, dang, like you could definitely see that he could be a great athlete, but I don't know, he's not carrying the same weight. And just to see him, transform from then to now, if you saw him at his pro day, sheesh, like that is a man child, and it didn't look like he had any body fat on his body whatsoever. So I think he just feels like, yeah, it's kind of just, he's happy that it's basically just come full circle. He's like, wow, I'm playing in the same stadium I was playing at on Saturdays on Sundays now. So it's crazy for him.
From there, what are you, I guess, expecting out of him injury-wise? Of course, the big conversation coming into the draft was the concussions. Of course, he retired from football. And again, I mean, I know you said you didn't want to put words in his mouth, but he just kept saying it last night in his interviews, after the pre-draft, the post-draft interview, saying, Miami saved him and that he just couldn't be any happier to be staying in the 305. How do you think his, career is going to go now injury-wise? Do you think everything hopefully is in the past in terms of the concussions and any other injuries he might have dealt with?
I think it's with concussions, you're kind of walking on a very, I guess a
thin line.
Because the thing is like that can really come up again anytime, even if he just has one. This is professional football after all, and the thing is the injury concerns are very, very valid. I remember looking back his freshman year at UCLA, I think he sprained both ankles, and then he ended up getting to a really bad moped accident, which required 2 surgeries on his wrist, and it's not even including the concussions. I think he suffered his first concussion. He was 10 years old. So they're very, very valid. But the thing is, he is such a good, mentally he's approached this really well. I think that he is not, like, the thing is, I think that it works out for him in the end that he had these injuries early, because I don't know, he's just such a forgiving, he's willing to overlook.
He's a good guy.
He hasn't let the injuries kind of get to his head at this point. And that just the fact that he's having such a high level of success even after that is incredible. Because I feel like, a lot of professional athletes that kind of go through this, maybe like in their late 20s or their early 30s, they kind of they lose trust in their body. So then you kind of see the deterioration in their talent. But for him, it's kind of like it's helped him. It's kind of helped him a lot more. It's motivated him a lot more. I think that, even when he plays too, he still plays with a very high motor. He's still very aggressive. I don't think you don't really get any inkling of a player who is afraid.
Right.
He's still
he plays like a beast.
He's still going to go all out. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't really think about those things. So I think that he has even with the way he talks too. Like you don't really feel any. I guess I don't want to say insecurity, but just like he's so motivated. He's so confident that he's going to do great things. In the future. Really
quickly here, and a last touch on the guys. Do you think, and all the talk coming into the season was going to be, from the offseason into this past college football season, Gregory Rousseau is going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. He sits out. He doesn't play. He's still a first rounder. He goes to Buffalo. Do you think that he might maybe possibly regret sitting out, or do you think that he will look at it in the long run and say, I went to a better situation, especially in Buffalo, falling to one of those teams in the later rounds?
No, that's also a valid question. I think in retrospect, with his mom being a nurse, I don't think he regrets the decision at all. I think this is kind of bigger than just football itself, and it's more about life. And plus, I think him actually not even just falling to a later team or a contending team even, but I don't know if you guys knew, but he actually has connections to Buffalo. I think his parents used to live in Buffalo for a few years. I think back in the late 90s. Even Greg's older brother actually was born in Buffalo. So there's a lot of connections there. And I think that, I always felt like Russo was a better fit. Like, if a team kind of has leeway with the prospect, that Russo is kind of like that prospect, because I think he's still a little raw.
Right.
Phillips is definitely a lot more developed down the line. But, I mean, if Russo can kind of take it easy for his rookie year, kind of just learn, because he has the physical tools, but I think his game still needs a little more refining. But I don't know yet. Honestly, in my mind, he has no regrets of seeing, because he still kind of gets first-round money, so I think it still works out for him in the end.
All right, well, Paul, thank you so much for coming on, man. Again, you can follow him on Twitter at @PaulAustria_. And you can catch everything that he does with the Miami Hurricanes as well. And I look forward to hopefully seeing some more Canes getting drafted, because as much of a Gator I am, I love to see the hometown school do well, because when they do well, all of us do well. So, Paul, have a great rest of your day, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Kai.
Of course. Over the last 30 years, South Florida fans have always been able to count on one radio show that gives you the brutal honesty you need. Orlando Alzugari and the Onside Zone. Daily from noon to 3 p.m. exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Now streaming online. Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody-Ass family. Dr. Moody-Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
Time for a Sports Grill NFL Draft Profile. Wisconsin Whitewater center Quinn Miners. This 6'3" senior weighs 320 pounds.
And this is like, you see the hip explosion from what he's doing with logs. You saw it this week.
This is awesome.
What he did against defensive linemen all week long. Pick it up. Here we go. I mean, what is that?
The Senior Bowl star stock soared after a dominant week in Mobile that showed the Wisconsin Whitewater Center belonged with a big school talent that gathers every year for the NFL's ultimate showcase. Miners plays with great force and an attitude that drives him to dominate his opponent. At the next level, Quinn projects as a center or guard. As a football player, he's probably better in a man-on-man scheme instead of a zone blocker. This Division III freak has a wingspan of 82 inches. Arms are 33 3/8 inches and hands 10 1/4 inches. Here's a player that should start at some point in his rookie season and become a solid starter by year 2. Teams that could select him: Kansas City at number 31, Atlanta at number 35, Dolphins at number 36, or Cincinnati at number 38. Join OnsideRadio.com for NFL Draft Week at Sports Grill in Miami, 11481 Southwest 40th Street, Bird Road, or at two-night event starting on Thursday, April 29th at 7:30 p.m. and Friday, day 2 at 6:30 p.m. Listen to the live broadcast exclusively at OnsideRadio.com, or join Big O and Alex Dono for the best Miami Dolphins draft coverage on your home for real sports talk. OnsideRadio.com.
It's toast. When South Floridians need hurricane windows, there's only one crew to call: Brett and Tom at B&T Windows and Doors. They came to the crib last year, installed PGT windows and doors, and now I'm set. No more plywood, no more knuckle-busting wing nuts. PGT windows and doors will keep me and my family safe the next time a named storm comes rolling on through. Call B&T today, 954-233-0126, or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S., do me a favor, tell them you heard about them on OnsideRadio.com.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit a shade above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnsideRadio.com studio. A shade above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A shade above Window Fashions.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. Last segment before we cross talk with Big O. O is here Always going to push through and bring a great show for all of you guys here at Onside Radio, wherever you may be and however you are listening. If you've been listening on YouTube or anything else, hi, how are you? Excuse me. Hopefully, you are just doing a great. You're having a great day. See, even my tiredness is getting to me right now with the words. Hopefully, you're having a great day, and hopefully, you've done everything you can to just continue to love everything going on with what's happening with the Dolphins. Of course, and we've seen it on YouTube, there are some mixed reviews on what's happening and what has happened with the Miami Dolphins. Of course, everyone's upset that they didn't get a running back. Najee Harris was the one that everyone was really harping on. And a lot of it's been on the injuries. Yes, Jalen Waddle was injured last year. He had a major injury. And then, yes, Jalen Phillips has been dealing with concussions essentially his entire life. And he's had a couple injuries himself. I still think they nailed it. I still think that they hit it out of the park with what they did. They got two guys that are very, very, very boom. And it's just, I really think that they're going to do a fantastic, fantastic, fantastic job for the Dolphins. And I hope that they continue to, prove people wrong, right? Like with Jalen Waddle, it wasn't really about always proving people wrong, but he was overshadowed and overlooked once it came down to Devonta Smith winning the Heisman, right? When it's Jalen Phillips, he's been doubted by everybody because of his injuries. He retired from football, came back. And again, I know that it's repeating the same thing, but again, he said it himself. And I think that something like that means something to no matter who you are. That he says California made him, but Miami saved him. That you can tell this guy, one, by watching him on the field, he plays like a beast. While watching Draft Day, the movie on the thing, the head coach of the Browns, new head coach or whatever, says, the whole thing looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. He says, I have, 52 Tarzans out there. I could use a Jane. And it's like, this guy plays like Tarzan, and he just oozes out everything you could want out of a player. And just looking at him, I, of course, had been skeptical because of the injuries and stuff. And I'm always skeptical when it comes to injuries. But one thing that I have had to realize, not only just from last night, but just in the past, you can go through and have a bunch of injuries in college, and then sometimes you can be healthy in the NFL. You can be extremely healthy in college, then you're injury-ridden your entire career. Devontae Parker was extremely healthy for Louisville. He's had a poor injury history since he came into the NFL. Now, he himself has claimed that it's been a lot of not wanting to play through injuries when he should have. So maybe that's a little bit of what it was with, Devontae Parker. But he's played like a beast ever since he's been able to play through those injuries. And I think he'll continue to impress. And I'm just very, very excited for what the future is going to be with Jalen Waddle and with Jalen Phillips. I'm way more excited than I guess some of the people here in the comments. Though I've seen a keep Grant, and then a Grant's days are numbered. So a little bit of both, right? A little bit of both. I think, and again, I'm not saying that Jakeem Grant will be cut. I just find it very interesting. And as I admitted 3 weeks ago, I've been giving Jakeem Grant a little bit too hard of a rap. And I will admit it countless times here. However, with them consistently mentioning last night, when talking about Jalen Waddle, return game, I don't know. It's just a little interesting. As we speak about Jalen Waddle, he's right here on the screen, getting drafted by Roger Goodell. That's cool. Anyways, I really want to touch on here in the final part of this, the most interesting story I think that came out of the draft yesterday. Aaron Rodgers apparently wants out of the Green Bay Packers. And it wasn't, Aaron going through someone. We had a big argument about this yesterday in one of the group chats I'm in, where the Wilson and Rodgers situations are similar. And I was on the side of no, they aren't, because Russell Wilson never demanded to be traded. His team was not happy. It was always the Russell Wilson team. They weren't happy. No one was happy there, and they wanted him out. But he did give a list of teams that he would be fine to be traded to. But he never requested a trade. This is Aaron Rodgers saying through himself, I want out. Get me out of Green Bay. Get me out of Wisconsin. And he, according to multiple reports, thought that he was out. He thought that he was gone and out. And instead, he wasn't. He was going to still be a Green Bay Packer. Number 3 overall pick was still going to be the 49ers. And it's just, I find it interesting, if you're Mike Gutekunst, why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Get Aaron Rodgers out. It's time. It's enough of the crap that you've been dealing his way. Aaron Rodgers deserves to be freed from the Green Bay Packers. And an interesting statistic that came out. No quarterback for the Green Bay Packers has played more than 16 seasons. Bart Starr played 16. Brett Favre played 16. Aaron Rodgers, 16. He would be the first Packers quarterback to play longer than 16 seasons. Look, all I'm saying is statistics show what can happen in the future. And man, although Gutekunst said that he's not going to trade him, I would not be so sure. Because I think it would make much more sense if you are the Green Bay Packers to trade Aaron Rodgers and accept the fate that you dealt yourself already by going out there and drafting Jordan Love last year when you could have done anything else. You traded up to get a quarterback when you needed much more. And then the quarterback that you seemingly were already ready to push out had an MVP season. The Packers last year needed help against the run. They got dominated by San Francisco in the championship game. They needed receivers on the outside. You know what they did? You can never do anything by yourself. Devontae Adams, beast. But you can never do anything by yourself. You know what they went on and did? They got Devin Funchess, who's not a bad receiver. But they went out and got Devin Funchess and passed on multiple receivers instead. They could have used offensive line help as well. Not desperately, but they could have. They just lost their starting center in Corey Linsley. Could have drafted one. Didn't. Got a corner. Again. The Packers front office, they're stupid. Lastly, here as we begin to round everything out, I want to answer this for Troy because I know he asked it a little bit earlier and I wasn't able to get to it. What do I think that they're going to do at 36? And then what do I want them to do at 36? Well, I think at 36 they're going to go offensive line. And I want them at 36 to go offensive line. I'm not saying that Creed or Landon has to start at center this year. But as a bunch of people have said, first of all, the worry with Matt Skura has never been blocking. Matt Skura can block like a bat out of hell. He's great at it. One of the best centers in the league when it comes to blocking. The issue was the yips the past season. Couldn't snap the football that well. You want to move Skur to guard? He'll be real damn good at it. You want to keep Robert Hunt at right tackle and move a different person into guard? Creed Humphrey, Landon Dickerson? First of all, Landon Dickerson's by far the best center in this draft. He just deals with injuries. But man, they're beasts. They are. I have to say, I think it's going to be an offensive lineman, and I would like them to get an offensive lineman. However, what I want and what I think they should do are completely different. I want an offensive lineman. I think they'll go offensive lineman. What I really want them to do is to go out there and get a running back in Javonte Williams. Go out there and even if you want to double up on receiver, I'm perfectly fine with that. Go out there and double up on defense. Get a Trayvon Moehrig. Perfectly fine with that. I want them to do that. However, I, in my heart of hearts, more so want them to get a center. Or just offensive line help in general. I think it'll end up being offensive line. I would love to be wrong. If Moehrig is there at 36, I think you think real long and hard because you had Antoine Winfield last year. You decided not to do it. He was a rock of that secondary for the Buccaneers and won a Super Bowl and played very good in that Super Bowl, I might add. You don't want to make the same mistake this year. Rounding out hour number 2, Big O will be back and better than ever, pushing through, making sure that he can get everything good here for you guys and all of his reactions to the past first round of the NFL Draft. A reminder, you can start your morning every day at 8 a.m. with Toasted Sports. Toast covers all local sports stories while providing some great Miami Hurricanes insight. Download, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Toasted Sports, 8 to 10, only at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
It's toast. Smartest thing I did last year? Called B&T Windows and Doors and had PGT custom windows and doors installed in my house. Listen, it's spring. That means before you know it, we'll be hearing about the tropics churning. That means you need to get your home and family protected today. Call B&T right now and they'll get you installed ASAP with the best in the business, PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126 or bntwindowsanddoors.com. And P.S. Tell them you heard about them on Onside Radio.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
WLESPN Sports Radio, where you can catch our draft party. Virtual draft party. But why when Onside Radio is doing it live with real people and real food and real beer? Because Because AM radio is over, and our management is stupid.
South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The fighting spirit of the Marine Corps is born of battles won. Battles won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's a promise made to you for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, rounding out the show. Yes, it was very odd. I enjoy talking to O every single day when I cross-talk, and you weren't here, O, but now you're back.
Yes, we are.
You got the great shirt on. You had a great show.
Burger Time? You play Burger Time?
I did not, but I love the shirt. It's just because I love the game in general. Like, the game's similar to that. And so, I'm, being a gamer, I love the shirt.
I'm an old gamer. That's why Burger Time,
Hey, listen, all games are good games, all right? Yeah. But you guys had a great show yesterday.
We tried, my brother. I thought Abel and Sean did a great job of putting it all together. Obviously, Sean is the heart and soul of everything.
Yeah, for real.
And he does so much for us. And I thought Dono was absolutely terrific. And we had a great crowd. Place was
I saw
packed.
A lot of the people in the YouTube comments there and taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. A lot of people came out, so thank you very much because it was a nice big crowd. We want a big crowd again tonight, man.
Oh, yeah.
And tonight's a big night. There's a lot of good players still on the board. So Miami's going to be able to really help themselves out a lot with the 3 picks that they have coming up tonight.
How did you feel about the first round and everything?
I liked it. I worry about Phillips with the concussion history. That's why, I'm kind of like in an A- way.
Right.
Because you cannot deny the talent. The kid proved that he can play. He can
plays
ball.
Like a beast.
Yeah, exactly. Now, he hasn't done it for a long time. So these kind of one-year wonders are kind of that's a question mark. But this is a kid that was highly rated coming out of school and then going to UCLA. And then obviously he had the concussions and he had the injuries and then stepped away from football. And I was thinking about this. He had enough passion to come back for it.
Right.
And so when you watch him on the field, he plays,
with
hard.
passion. Yeah.
And so I see everything that the Dolphins see in him. And the only reason I don't go A+ on last night, only because I'm not even worried about Waddle's foot injury.
It's a nothing.
Yeah, it's
nothing.
He'll be
injury.
over it. But I do worry about concussions.
Of course.
But Donald made a good point yesterday. He's a D-end, not a linebacker, not a running back, not a safety.
Right.
So, you're not leading with your head and tackling and all that. So, with a D-end, it's a lot rare to have that. So maybe it's not that big an issue. But denying what Jalen Phillips can do, that's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
The guy can play.
I think that's the thing that sticks out to me most is we've been talking forever. They need to get an impact player, pass catcher, and then whatever they do at 18, needs to have an impact this season.
Yeah.
They did exactly that at both picks.
Yes.
I mean, both players are going to come out and they're going to be impacts from the get-go. They're not going to be, oh, they're a project, like, no. Waddle's going to be a big part of the receiver room, and Jalen Phillips is going to be the first guy that they have right now that you can look at and say, okay, as long as we can continue to go on the path he's going on, this is the first guy we have right now that can go out there and get it on his own without the blitz packages, like without having to scheme things his way. He can just get by his man.
They have guys that can now get separation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
and catch the ball.
Yeah, and catch the ball. It's just what Tua didn't have last year
was speed.
Now he has it.
Yeah.
So it's what people needed, what people asked for. It's exactly what they delivered on.
Yeah. What do you have coming up on the show today?
I can't